Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is where neuroscience meets manifestation and strategy shakes hands with the soul. With decades of executive level experience, she now helps business owners rewire their brain, realign their energy, and finally break through those income ceilings. Smart, spiritual, and refreshingly practical. She makes wealth building feel grounded, doable, and unapologetically expansive. Welcome, Lena Khais, to the amazing show that we have here today for her. She is the founder of Atlas Paradigm. Welcome, Lena.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting to be here.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, you rewire our brain. All right. Do you mind telling us a little bit more about what you exactly do, how it works, and it obviously makes us a lot more money. So come help us with that.
100%. So, let me give you an analogy because I find that we relate best to simple stories. Because when I say that I rewire your brain, people get very apprehensive like, wait a minute, we just met. But if I tell you that your mind is like a computer, you can kind of get behind that. And if I tell you that your thoughts are kind of like programs that computer runs on, that's relatable. Well, here's the truth. Some of those programs are amazing. They work for you, they move you forward, they simplify, they earn you money. And then there are some programs that get outdated. They're loopy, they're running in the background and kind of getting in a way, slowing down. That's what happens in business. And the thoughts that get in our way are sometimes old programming that we got when we were growing up, learning, hearing, experiencing money for the first time. Or over the years, those are what I call business emotional scars. When we had clients who walked away, when we had contracts that fell through, or maybe even a bankruptcy at some point. So, my job working with business owners is to help identify what are some of those programs that are malfunctioning, that are looping, that are getting in a way, and gently help them rewire them, simplify them, almost like install an upgrade so that they go from the old school business owner to becoming modern entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow. I love the upgrade because I mean, we always get those on our phone. It's time to upgrade. You have to update. So we don't think about that for ourselves and what we actually do, but we need that too, huh?
Very much so. Very much so. And you know what? Here is another analogy that usually lands pretty well with business owners because we all run on coffee. True? Okay.
Yeah. If I don't have 5 cups of coffee in a day, I got a problem.
So let me give you this example. Imagine that we're sitting and we're having, I don't know, let's say Americano. We're having a great conversation, and before we know it, we're like spilling into the second hour. We are ready for something yummier. You just don't want another Americano. You go like, how about we get gingerbread latte? Are we still allowed? It's February. Let's get gingerbread latte.
Mhm.
What is going to happen if they try to fit that venti latte into your Americano cup? It's going to
Ooh.
be a mess. It's going to spill all over. So, what are we going to look for? A bigger cup. How does that relate to business? There are so many business owners who operate on the programming and in the capacity of who they were when they first started their business. And now they have bigger goals, aspirations. Maybe they want to serve more people. Maybe they want to offer more products. But they're still sitting in their Americano capacity, dreaming of that gingerbread venti.
Oh my. Okay. All right. You just dropped some bombs here for everybody to go, okay. All right, we have to upgrade. We got to make some changes. We have to do something. The simple reason that you cannot keep pouring and overspilling the whole
Mhm.
entire time.
A
Okay.
100%. And, just to throw some fun into this conversation, being money manifestation coach, people always ask me, so explain to me, why is it that people who win the lottery usually end up losing all of it and more? Because if you think about winning the lottery, you're getting hit with a huge volume of energy. Money is energy. And if
Mhm.
you don't have capacity to hold that energy, it's going to spill. And very few people buying lottery tickets are actually working on their capacity, intentionally preparing to receive large amounts of money.
Mindset plus. It's not just mindset, it's plus
A
that you
hundred
have
percent.
to do.
Right. Right.
Wow. Okay, something had to happen in your life. You
Mhm.
were in executive leadership. What exactly happened in your life that sparked you to go from a position you had to being the bomb diddity manifesting queen that you are?
So it was actually very interesting that I did this type of work for 25 years, some without actually realizing that that's what I was doing. Because in my corporate career, I worked with executives, helping them with their mindset. Now, let's go on a record saying nobody in corporate will ever use words like manifestation, mindset, energy. Like that's no, no. We call it leadership development, we call it succession planning, and all of that good jazz. And that was a fantastic run. Like, I don't hate on corporate, it served its purpose.
Mm.
But eventually, I caught myself spending nights next to my husband, who was peacefully snoring, even though he'll tell you he doesn't snore. And I was going through social media, like doom scrolling, like loving those inspirational posts. And finally, I was like, wait a minute, why am I loving inspirational posts instead of living them? That is just so dumb. So in that moment, I said, you know what? I feel like while I am here serving, I'm really not living my life's purpose. There's got to be more. Like, did I really travel through the entire universe to be just that, like that corporate employee? And universe is always listening.
Mm.
And don't you know it? Shortly after, my husband and I were looking for something to watch on Netflix, and we stumbled upon the documentary Secret. And for those people who've never heard of it, check it out. It's a cute documentary that really dives into the power of the mind. And it interviews some pretty prominent manifestation and mindset coaches. We made so much fun of it. We were like, who in their right mind would think that this is even worth showing? Like, this is so silly. Like, do these people actually believe that? However, in that moment, I told my husband, listen, but be honest. Wouldn't it be so amazing to manifest an unexpected check in the mail? And he's a practical guy. He goes, yeah, sure, that would be amazing. Fast forward couple of weeks, I go to pick up mail. And don't you know it? In the mailbox, there is a refund check from a local store that was going out of business, and we happen to have a line of credit with. Now, before everybody goes Google Gaga, it wasn't $1 million, but it was a proof of concept.
Mm.
In that moment, I said to myself, you know what? This whole thing is no more magic than the show we go to watch. And while to us in the audience, it looks magical, the magician knows how the bunny got in the hat. So if I can reverse engineer and figure out how to use the power of the mind to actually take the thoughts and turn them into things, that would allow me to live my life by design instead of by default.
Ooh.
That was the start of it.
Ooh, okay, okay. Life by design instead of default.
Mhm.
Those are very specific words, guys, that you got to listen to. You have to listen to those things. So let's talking about design, okay? Wonder if you knew what you know today, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
Always place the order for what you want and stop fidgeting with what you're afraid might happen. There is a huge difference going from, but what if, to imagine when. Because universe is absolutely neutral. It's a blessing and a challenge because it's not your mama. It's not going to watch out for your benefit. It is literally going to deliver like universal prime. Whatever you put in a cart will be shipped. And what do we usually do? We talk about what we don't want. Oh, I hope it doesn't rain on my wedding day. Oh, I hope he doesn't stand me up. Oh, I hope my business doesn't go belly up. Oh, I hope this lead doesn't ghost me. Oh, I hope. So, what we do is we intentionally, kind of almost like with the frother, froth those thoughts on repeat. And the longer you keep the frother in your creamer, the thicker the foam becomes. And that's how we actually manifest. It's whatever we think of the most, universe expects us to want, because otherwise, why would you be thinking about it? So that shift in and of itself, if our audience walks away with one thing today, that is the nugget I would love for them to take away. Focus on what you want and let go of what might. It doesn't matter, because through the power of your focus, you actually plant the seeds and you attract. That's the law of attraction. You attract what you want.
Okay, so, all right, you're gonna think I'm a little wackadoodled here, but you're gonna love me for it. Is that okay? I love it. Okay. All right. So, from a manifestation mind perspective,
Mhm.
have you ever thought of creating like a shopping cart for people to actually go in and actually type what they want and put it in the shopping cart and check out and it's sent to them as a reminder? I'm like, oh, that would be so cool. Her analogy is so amazing to have people like totally gifted into it and like, yeah, sold on it.
So I didn't come up with that brilliant idea, which now I'm totally going to build. But what I do have, and I am going to gift it to your audience, is my 21-day do-it-yourself manifestation journey. And basically, it builds on that principle. It's a guided journal where you start with answering very specific questions. And we get detailed because, unfortunately, too many times we forgot how to dream. Like, even in my business, people come to me and I say, what do you want? And they say, I want more money. So, you know what I do? I wire them $5, either through PayPal or Venmo. And they're like, I just got $5 from you. I'm like, well, you said you want more money. Manifest it. And then we'll laugh. And they're like, no, okay, I got your point. So we get specific. And then I take you through 21 days of very intentional prompts that you reflect on to actually get you to that end scene, that desire that you have created. And you know what? I'm just going to quote Bob Proctor. I love him. He's probably one of my most favorite mindset and manifestation gurus. And he always said, if you can keep it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Because now we know the science behind it. Our mind cannot tell a difference between reality and imagination. Do you know that?
Yes,
That's
I
why we
do.
cry when we watch a movie and the puppy gets hurt.
Mm.
We know there are 7 puppies on the set, but it
There
doesn't matter.
are? There are? I thought it was just
There's so
one.
many extras because puppies are uncontrollable. But we are like, oh no, that puppy got hurt, right? Because we
Yeah.
want to believe it. We go on haunted hay rides. We get scared, even though we know those are college students trying to make $5 while on a full break, right? So when you intentionally hold yourself to that end vision, to that end scene, your mind assumes that's what we're doing. It starts directing your actions, it starts bringing opportunities. By law, what you focus on, you're going to get. So, 21 days, do it yourself manifestation journey is kind of like that cart that you get to put things into.
That is cool. Yeah. So both of them are going to be amazing. I can just see the combo of the two as well. But let's go ahead and talk about this if you don't mind. How do they get that amazing 21-day journal?
Yeah, they can just check out my website. It's www.atlas-paradigm.com. And then they just click on the tab services and they can find it right there.
Wow. All right, let's talk about a game changer. You do it tons of entrepreneurs and tons of business owners, especially females. What is a game changer that you've seen happen? I know their thought patterns. What
Mhm.
else what else is there? Or is that like the bomb and that's what's going to make it happen no matter what?
It's stepping into identity of you who already has what you want.
Hmm.
Let me give you an example. Too many times we think that in order for us to make more money, to attract new clients, to grow our business, we have to operate in a physical reality. But the truth of the matter is, everything starts from within. We attract who we are because the whole universe is frequencies. Likes attract likes.
Mhm.
So I had this fascinating client. She was a young business owner. She owned a hair salon. And when she came to me, she said, listen, I really want to grow my business, but here's the reality. I have a place. There are 4 chairs. Behind each chair, I have a hairdresser. We work full time. I have nothing more to give. And in order for me to grow my business, I would need a bigger space. I don't have money to buy a bigger space. And I can't grow my business to make more money because I don't have a bigger space. I am stuck. So that was her mindset. So I asked her a very simple question. I said, can you think of anybody in your field who makes more than you do? And
Mm.
we live in rural Pennsylvania. So she goes, well, of course, those girls in New York City. I said, oh, fascinating. Who are they? And she goes, they're stylists. I said, that is so interesting. And who are you? She goes, I'm a hairdresser. I said, so help me understand, what is the difference? She's like, well, we like, cut bangs and get rid of split ends. And from time to time, we'll still do perms. I said, and what do they do in New York City? Well, they're stylists. They consult, they offer services, they can change your entire appearance. I said, hold that thought. Why can't you do that? And she goes, that's right. Why can't I do that? By shifting her identity from being a hairdresser to a stylist, she changed the way she thought about herself. She changed the way she communicated with her staff. And before you know it, those girls behind the chairs started consulting with their clients. Naturally, as they started offering more value, they recalibrated their prices.
Mm.
And same customers now were paying more for higher value services without ever adding chairs. Long story short, in 3 years, she closed her year at $3 million. And it was her identity work.
Yeah, internally. That's
Mhm.
it.
It's going from the Americano to the venti latte.
Wow. All right. So you just said a very important thing, the mindset and the mentality and how she thought of herself. What is something else? This is true confessions here that you wish that entrepreneurs would just, the mindset, they would just kick that to the curb. What is it?
There are no limits except the limits that we set for ourselves.
Mm.
We cannot rise to our goals, we will default to our identity. What we believe is possible, achievable, and available to us, that is what we're going to get. So if we believe that in order to make a lot of money, we have to sacrifice our life and our soul, we'll prove ourselves right. If
Mm.
we believe that the only way to claw yourself to the top is by backstabbing and being ruthless and almost turning yourself to somebody you don't even like yourself, we'll prove ourselves right. If we believe that it's possible to have a balanced life where you can have both success professionally and personally, you can be an entrepreneur and a parent, you can be a friend and a wife, we'll prove ourselves right, because universe will always prove us right. It has three answers. Yes, a little bit later, I've got something better for you.
Oh, those are really amazing. Only 3 answers. Wow. And say them again. Yes, a
A little
little bit.
bit later, or I have something better for you.
Okay. That one right there, guys, she's a wealth of knowledge. I have interviewed lots of manifestation coaches, and you just bring it to the forefront of the reality of what it is.
It's really very formulaic. It's
Mhm.
not that hard. It's not a gift. It's not for chosen few. You don't have to spend years in Tibet learning it. And also, you don't have to invest thousands of dollars to perfect it. You've been manifesting all along. That's
Mhm.
how we do. It's part of a creating process. It's just making those small tweaks so that you become intentional. So you always get that princess parking right outside of the restaurant door so that it doesn't rain when you forget your umbrella. So it's that imagine when instead of what if.
Wow. Or it can be raining everywhere else, but not where you are.
Mhm.
Mhm.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, it's happened to me before. It's like, "Oh, good, I'm not getting wet. Good."
Exactly.
All right. Let's talk about balance. If you believe in it, great. If you don't believe in it, I totally understand. But let's talk about it with families and how it interacts, if you don't mind, with business.
I don't mind at all. So I'm a Gemini. I don't abide by discipline. I really don't like the word should. I don't think anybody should be shooting on anybody, and we shouldn't be shooting on ourselves. And I think balance is something that we define very personally as a state of feeling good. So a lot of times people will say to me, so do you have a morning routine? Do you have an evening routine? How do you structure your day? And it depends. There are times when I feel very creative, when I get those divine downloads and I want to write my content, and then I will just pour it out. And then
Mm.
there are days when I'm like, you know what? I will do the least damage to society if I take a bath, read a book, and not go on camera. That's what we call balance. It's reading your own energy and being respectful to what feels good. I don't believe in scheduling back to back to back to back to back calls. Why? Because energetically, then we're bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball, and that cannot possibly feel good. We do need to recharge, like Tesla's,
Mhm.
but balance is very specific. If you're curious about what works best for you, I always suggest to people look into your human design. And
Mhm.
this day and age, you can Google it. Now, be careful because there is some like you can go down the rabbit hole, but it is such a great field of study to help you learn more about yourself, including what is your energy strategy? Are you the go, go, go? Or do you work in sprints?
Mhm.
Or maybe you respond best to the kind of input from the universe. Once you start working with your human design, everything becomes a flow.
You know, you brought that up. What is your human design?
I'm a reflector.
You're a reflector. So I'm a 6'2" projector. So I'm the role model hermit and I have to be invited. So
Mhm.
yeah, I am the role model. I am out. I can be like out and about, but there's like you said, where's that bath and that book? Oh, just give it to me. I just want to like go away.
Yeah. Well, and how valuable that you know who you are and you know how to work with it versus against it. Like,
Mhm.
imagine if you were in the sales field trying to go and chase the leads. Your energy is so strong, it would almost be repelling versus you being the authority of who you are. People are like gravitating to you, and you're like, this
Yeah.
is good. Like, I love this. It works for you. You are balanced.
Mhm. I know. So I could be on a conference somewhere or a convention or something, and you see everybody going around and like da 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 da, and they'll say, "Angel, why you're not doing that?" It's because the right people are going to come to me,
Yeah.
who I need, who's in
Yeah.
my field, and they just look at me like, "Okay,"
Mhm.
but it's true. It's true because that's who I am. I'm not a generator or a manifesting generator or
Yeah.
you know.
And
Mhm.
those people love having multiple lines in the water and they love that go, go, go. But it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for me.
No, I've been a reflector. Guys, reflectors are amazing. So do you wanna tell them a little bit about a reflector? Because I know a little bit, but not as much as you do about this.
So reflectors are an interesting breed because we are technically a Teflon. So we are little mirrors, and what you like about us is what you love about yourself. And what triggers you in us is what you're working on for yourself. Now, it works amazingly for what I do because usually I can quickly read where we need to lean in based on how resistant the client becomes to whatever we're talking about, right? So think of me like an energetic chiropractor. Like we find that knot and then we untangle it. We loosen it up so that the energy can flow. Now, does it always feel amazing in the middle of the session? No. But do you feel more relaxed and loose and you don't like, click when you walk? 100%.
That is it. Thank you for, sharing that, explaining it to us because, I knew a little bit, but that really explains a lot and why you flow through things, through the process here. You just reflect on what we do. I love that. All right. What would you say to a woman who's in the middle of a mess and she's just ready to throw in the towel and give up? She's done.
Good. I'm glad you're ready to throw in the towel. So do that. And then let's figure out what you actually want.
Mhm.
Not what you've been told you should want, not what the well meaning girls on Instagram told you, not what your girlfriends would expect from you, what mama would be so proud of. What do you want? Like, do you want to own a business? Do you want to be a corporate executive? Do you want to be a mom? Do you want to be single? Because, girl, you can have whatever you want, but you need to decide.
Yeah. So thank you for saying that because 20 years ago, I wanted to do this. And I was told by people, no, you don't want to do that. That's not going to be this. It's not going to do that. It's not going to do this. So I didn't do it. And I said, okay, so when you're three things, not yet.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I did something else. Okay.
and you know what? It's so wild, but it's usually people who have never been to where we're going who want to give us direction. Have you noticed?
All the time, 100%. Yeah, they're not even in our same realm.
When you sit down with people who are successful, who are building, who are going, who are curious, they'll be like, here are all your permission slips. Yes, you can. Please do it. How can I help you? This is what I figured out. But when you surround yourself with naysayers, they'll be like, oh no, like, why would you do that? I heard so much of it when I was leaving my corporate job because 25 years in, right? I got my advanced degree. I paid my dues. I traveled pregnant. Like I did all of that. And I was making multiple six figures, and I had company funded stock, and I had a month and a half paid vacation, and I was working from home, and I had kids going off to college. And they're like, this is midlife crisis. Like, why don't you just cut banks? That sounds cheaper than what you're doing. And I'm like, no, it's not a midlife crisis. It's a rebirth when you finally look in the mirror and you go like, you know what? Instead of what if, imagine when.
Ooh, imagine when. Imagine when. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I did. I imagined this. Guys, and I can tell you, I imagined it every single day for 20 years, knowing it's what I wanted because I was featured in a magazine. And I knew what it did for me.
Mhm.
So it's the same thing. So it's something inside of you. Maybe you're not doing what you want to do. Because I mean, guys, I am an insurance agent as well. Go figure that out. Can you see me as an insurance agent? No.
And the truth of the matter is, a lot of times what we're doing, it's not a mistake. It is
Mhm.
chiseling us into the identity who is actually ready to receive that unseen dream.
Ooh.
So I don't want anybody feeling like, oh, shoot, I just wasted 10, 15, 20, 30 years of my life. No, you haven't. You're
Mm.
always exactly where you're supposed to be. That is your path. That was small font you didn't read in a cosmic contract. Um, but just decide what you want next. Because that end vision that I keep talking about, that end scene in your movie, that is the location you put in your GPS, that God's perfect scenario.
Yep.
But GPS doesn't show you the entire trip. We're no longer on like Google Maps, right? It will be one leg of the trip of the time. And we're cool with that. So trust life.
Yep.
It's okay to go one step at the time.
100%. And I also believe now that I understand the human design, I understand the role model aspect. I couldn't have done this 20 years ago.
Right. You
I
were
wouldn't have done
being matured, curated, and chiseled into who you are today.
100%. And so I needed to do those other things to get me where I am today. And that's it. So you have to understand that as well, just like she said. That's one leg of the trip.
Yeah.
You explain things so well for people to understand. Thank you for that. L Let's go to a little bit fun side. I
Sure.
wanna know something about you that would surprise everybody and go, "She did what?"
So usually by the end of the day, my accent gets thicker. And people say, you're not from around here, are you? And I said, no. And they're like, so where are you from? And I would try to give like the geographically correct answer. And I'd be like, well, I'm originally from Belarus. And they go like, oh, no, like, okay, former USSR. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they like lean in because they're like, oh, you escaped the regime. And every time they ask me that, I'm like, I have got to come up with a better story. But the truth of the matter is, I came here because I had a fight with my boyfriend during high school prom. And I decided that I'm going to teach him a lesson and go far, far away. And at that time, I was mesmerized watching 90210 and Santa Barbara. And I was like, that's where I want to be. So I literally packed a suitcase and came here to study. So a very different story, but people go like, seriously? That's what brought you out of USSR into United States? A breakup with a boyfriend? I'm like, it's amazing what women can do.
Well, I mean, that can be emotional. That brings us to some breaking points, to do something fun.
Totally, totally.
Yeah,
Manifest.
you manifested. Oh, back then, you even manifested before
I,
you watched the secret movie.
yeah, I wanted that 90210 life. I don't know why I landed in Philadelphia versus Santa Barbara, but that was a sloppy manifestation on my part.
Oh, no, you had to meet the man of your dreams.
I did. And we now have two kids. And let me tell you something. When people say, what is the most amazing part about what you do? I mean, serving my clients always and forever. But it's raising my kids to know that they curate their own reality.
Mm.
And when I say that, yes, it's the bigger dreams, it's the aspiration, it's the education, it's really going big in life, but it's also having fun. Like, let me give you, for instance, I have a 16-year-old and she's into music like everybody else. So last year, she started listening to this new artist on Spotify. His name is Knox. And she was like, I love his lyrics. I want to meet him. And I'm like, okay. She's like, no, no, I'm going to meet him. So she knows how to do intentional manifestation. I mean, I raised her from a pup. So she knows that you create the end scene, you hold the vision, don't white knuckle the dream, don't be obsessed about the how, and just take aligned actions. So in her world, it was listening to his music, learning the lyrics, and just knowing that one day she's going to meet him. This summer, her friends, well, her friends' family, asked her if she wanted to spend a weekend in Maryland with them. And she was like, heck yeah, of course. On the beach, say less. So they go on this long weekend, and the mom, her friend's mom, goes, I got tickets. It's like some concert on the beach. Do girls want to go? Sure. Knox happened to be vacationing and decided to throw a concert. He wasn't really huge to the point that he is right now. So it was a crowd on the beach. Nobody truly knew his lyrics except my crazy daughter, who sang every song on the top of her lungs. So eventually, of course, he goes, come over here. She sends me a selfie. She goes, Mom, who is that? I said, this is Knox. She goes, manifested. So the cool part about this story, and I have so many of those that I share with people, is like, I don't want everybody to think that manifestation is winning a lottery. Manifestation is living life by design. It's having a dream and getting it in your hot little hands. And if it is princess parking when it's pouring rain, amazing. Why not?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm crying with your daughter's story because I love it. That is so amazing. Guys, if you want this, you can have this. That is what she's trying to tell you. If
Yes.
you want something, it is there for you.
Yes, 100%. 100%. And if you don't mind, I do want to share a book that I swear by. I mean,
Yeah.
I read a lot of books, and let's just go on a record saying that I didn't invent manifestation. I have my interpretation of it. And for some people, it clicks, for some people, it doesn't. However, there is a book, it's called Countdown to Riches 21 Days of Wealth Attracting Habits. Countdown to Riches 21 Days of Wealth Attracting Habits. And it is by Rhonda Byrne, and she's the one who produced the movie Secret.
She is.
Amazon people. It is such a beautiful book that literally gives you no-brainer, teeny tiny bite-sized practices that you do for 21 days to help you kind of loosen that mold of thinking that money is scarce, I can't have it, I wasn't born into money, and amazing things happen. Now, if you want to learn more about what I do, you already know where to go, atlas-paradigm.com. But for some of us who are like, oh, I'm just going to do it myself, that's the book I would recommend to start with.
Wow. And what about a song?
So there is a really cool song, which my daughter makes such a terrible fun of me about, because the video that comes with it is totally AI generated. And she's like, it is so creepy, but it's called It's Already Done. I'm going to send you the link.
Okay.
It's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, and it's literally called It's Already Done.
Wow.
If you listen to that song in the morning, you will reset your day to be successful. Because the frequency of that song, and remember, we're all energy, right? So the same way that a musician will fine tune the instrument using the tuning fork, we use music to tune ourselves up.
Yep.
If you listen to that song as a rampage in the morning and really kind of embody it, like put it through your body, you will have an easier, more productive day. You basically set the intention. Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to look for the evidence of that and I'm going to find it. And yes, you will.
Okay. I'm doing it tomorrow. I'm probably gonna
It's
do it
already
tonight.
done.
Why not? It's already done. All right. If you had a superpower for just 24 hours, what would it be? Quick round here.
Say that again.
A superpower for just 24 hours, what would it be?
Be able to speak to millions of people and literally tell the world, just focus on what you want and stop fighting what you don't.
Mm.
In order for you to be a problem solver, you need to have problems to solve. If you're saying, I want to be brave, that means you're going to be presented with opportunities to develop that strength. So lean in, exhale, world. Life is not that complicated. Have fun.
Wow. Do you believe in motivation?
I believe in devotion.
Devotion. Okay. I agree.
Motivation to me sounds like something you're gearing for
Mhm.
and getting ready to be ready to feel ready, which, by the way, is a myth. There is no frequency of ready. You cannot feel ready. Ready is a decision.
Mm.
But when you are devoted, that's a choice. You choose to do something. If somebody says, I'm committed to go into the gym, they're going to quit by March because that commitment in and of itself, it's just a pure mechanical drive. When they say I'm devoted to my health, it's a full package. They're going to work out. They're only going to put in their body what's good for them to eat. They will stay hydrated. They will take care of their rest. They will take care of their mind because they're devoted. We're not committed to our children. We're devoted.
Oh.
That's the difference.
Oh, I like that. That is really a mind shift there as well. Being
Mm.
devoted. Right. Mic drop moment. What would you want to leave our audience with today?
You get to choose. You either live your life by design or exist by default.
Yep. Lena, it is a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. That was so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.